O'Reilly! You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly. Save on your next oil change at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Choose Castrol Edge Full Synthetic Motor Oil to provide maximum performance and protection for your engine. Get a $15 gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Castrol Edge for $34.95. Plus 2 times O Rewards points. Offer valid in-store and online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Tigers win a thriller in Tiger Stadium, beating Ole Miss in overtime. We're breaking down the film on the Handycast.
The Handycast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hanagriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickson. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
And we welcome you into the Handycast here for Tuesday, October the 15th. I'm Charles Hanagriff, along with former Tiger Richard Dickson. Rich, LSU, this was one of those games in Tiger Stadium where everything was perfect. The opponent, the weather, the time of the kickoff, and then the game responded with it. If you don't ever lead for a single snap, but you win it on the last one, you know you got a classic game.
That's unreal. I mean, just the atmosphere. I mean, it was a hair-pulling game. I was nervous the whole time. But to finish the way he did, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better excitement in the stadium.
Big plays for and against, and, you know, some good fortune for LSU. I think the overwhelming sentiment in the postgame from Lane Kiffin, from Jaxson, from a lot of the fans, some of the ones that called us, was, how did LSU win that game?
We bend, we never broke. I mean, they gave up a lot of plays. We got some good fortune on some drop balls. But these guys stayed in it the whole time. They fought their whole way through and never gave up.
You know, when you are behind and a team has got a chance to put you away, and I really felt like if Ole Miss ever got up 2 scores in that second half, that LSU would be in real trouble. Every time in this game where LSU seemed like they were just about out of it, they would counterpunch. Like when they were down 10-0, they got the drive that they needed. Every time they needed to make up Zy Alexander's interception in the end zone, every time they needed to make a play, they did.
They made every timely stop. I mean, you go the whole second half, Ole Miss doesn't score a touchdown. So if you can hold a half of football with Ole Miss not scoring, they kept giving the offense a chance to get going and catch up.
To say nothing of a couple of fourth down conversions down there at the end. We're brought to you by Marucci Sports. The Hitter's House, 5801 Segan Lane. You know, members' benefits are numerous, 24/7 access to the members-only cages, bullpen cage reservation opportunities, a 15% discount on their retail stores, and they got some big changes, some big additions coming to their retail stores. Of course, all of Marucci aluminum and composite bats are available on site. The family plans are available also. Marucci's a company founded and operated by current and former big leaguers, so they're dedicated to quality and committed to providing their athletes at every level with the tools they need to be successful. Check them out at MarucciSports.com. All right, we're going to start with a play that I think really kind of set the tone, and not in a good way, for Ole Miss. Rich, when we talk about Ole Miss getting to the end of the first quarter, feeling like they should have had the lead by multiple scores, and it's 0-0, this is the first play that we're talking about. The best receiver in the country statistically was Trey Harris. We didn't know if he was going to play in this game until very close to kickoff, but he did. And Lane Kiffin gets exactly what he wants here, and this could have been a big, big play for Ole Miss.
We talked about good fortune. I mean, this was good fortune. The guy gets everything he wants. You got Ashton Stamps playing press man. It's quarters coverage. And he just runs past Gilbert. I mean, you're going to see it really good from the wide view. It's almost like Gilbert bit a little bit on the play action fake. He steps up. But, you know, you hear the old saying with receivers, you know, if I get even, I'm leaving. He gets even and he's gone.
Here's from the end zone view. Dart gets plenty of good protection here. And this is a ball that Harris might drop, I don't know, 1 out of 50.
You don't see him drop that very often.
Something like that. All right, let's set up the coverage here.
And so you're going to have quarters coverage. You're going to have 2 drop with the corner on the left side having the second half. And really, I mean, this was a bust on us. I mean, you got multiple guys open. Stamps misses on a press. He tries to jam at the line, misses him. He gets free. And when he gets that free release, he burns past Gilbert.
Watch it here.
You watch Stamps. He's going to try to jam him enough just to give him time, and he just whiffs. And Gilbert's got to get out of that back pedal a little bit quicker. He's got his eyes in the backfield and just doesn't really get turned. But, I mean, you run that one back real quick because that's not the only big play on this tape. If you watch the tight end wide receivers, they do a switch. We don't pass it off, and the tight end's wide open.
Okay, so he's trying to get a jam. Essentially, Harris gets a free release here.
He gets a free release because and Gilbert, they've got press coverage. He wants to jam so he can keep his eyes in the backfield a little bit longer. But when he gets that free release, he's late to get out. But if you watch the backside, the tight end on the outbreaker is all by himself. Oof. I mean, you get burned right here, but that's just a missed coverage on the backside.
All right, so LSU dodges one there. That's a touchdown. If he catches it, he's in stride, and it's 7-0, and it's 2 minutes into the game. LSU's already had the ball at that point. The air comes out of the building.
And that's a minute, 15 seconds into the game. That could take the crowd out quick.
Yeah. All right, we move forward a little bit here in the first quarter. This is a 3rd down and 7 for Ole Miss, and this is a bust of a nice gain of 17 yards for Ole Miss's run game.
There's a lot of good things done on this play. The ball gets stopped, but when it gets stopped, you have a lot of guys overflowing, which allows the backside cutoff. If you watch Sage Ryan right there, it's just a misfit. He's got to stay in his gap. He sees the guy flowing in there, and you get 2 guys in one gap. Both Burns and Sage Ryan try to fill the same hole.
This is all right. Let's set up what we're looking at here.
You just run a base defense right here, but what they're going to do is it's all backside cutoffs trying to crash. They're trying to run the ball in this gap. We stop it. I think it's Shand right here in front of Penn. He does a hell of a job. They stop the hole, but with the overflow, you're going to watch Ryan fill in to the right side, and it causes that big cutoff or cutback seam.
You stop there.
So run it back just real quick. I'll tell you when to stop.
You want to try it again?
Yeah, try the arrows real quick. Ready to go back 15 seconds?
Okay.
Or 5 seconds?
There we go.
All right, so hit play with the space bar. Watch Shand right here. He does a hell of a job. He jams it. Pause right there. Look at the 2 gap. He's playing that technique perfect. This ball is going back way. He's got this cut off. This should be a no gain. It should be stopped, should be 4th and long. They should be punting. But if you go forward, right there, he hits back. Sage Ryan fills the wrong gap where you got Burns right here. Sage should be right there, but Sage overflows with the play going that way. He runs into the back of his guy because Shand did a good job, but because he fills in the wrong gap, he's got a big cutoff in the back.
And you see him. This turns out to be a 17-yard gain for Ole Miss on a 3rd down and 7. Yeah, and okay, so we get the wide view here. 3rd and 7. They spread you out, and what are the percentages that he's going to run the football?
You're not thinking run right here. I mean, this is a pretty much given pass down, but it's Lane Kiffin. He knows what we're getting into. He gets the misdirection with getting the safety to fly over. Everything looks so good right here. If Sage fills his gap, that's a stop for short gain, and they're punting.
And you see him go for 17 yards. All right. One guy again. We said that an awful lot. We're brought to you by Lake Urgent Care. 25 years of experience. Lake Urgent Care, dedicated to providing quality care close to home. They treat minor illnesses and injuries for ages 3 months and up at 17 convenient locations, including Baton Rouge, Hammond, Livingston Parish, and Ascension Parish. Plus, they offer occupational health and weight loss solutions, a seamless extension of Our Lady of the Lake. Patients can access care from anywhere with the MyChart patient portal. Our urgent care centers are open 7 days a week. Simply walk in, check in online, or you can schedule a virtual care visit at lakeurgentcare.com. Moving forward in the first quarter here, one of the things we were hoping, Rich, was that LSU would be able to get the run game going, and Caden Durham, who was coming in here nursing those dislocated toes, we were hoping he could be a factor here. He really wasn't. LSU was not able to run the football the way that they wanted to. This is one instance where they try a 1st and 10 run, and it doesn't go very far.
And this is where it gets frustrating because this play's there. You have 2 guys make a mistake, get beat on their assignments, and this could have gone for a big gain. You're going to see Chester's needing to get to the next level right here.
The center, DJ Chester.
So he's got to get up right there. Frazier gets beat, and it just blows up. When you see the tight view on the next screen, I mean, it's so close, right? watch Frazier and watch Chester.
All right. You're watching the right guard here, 70, and the center, 79.
Pause right there. This is about to be a home run. Chester has to get up on the linebacker right there. He slow plays it, and Frazier just gets kind of whooped on this play. They throw him, gets knocked off. You're going to get Mason Taylor with the kick out. You can go a little bit forward. I mean, this play is so close to hitting that home run, but because Frazier gets beat, it slows him down. And it's just another one of those one player off that if he just does it 80% of his job, this is a big gap. I mean, you got one-on-one with the safety again. And that's where we heard him talking in the press conference yesterday. It's just one guy not doing one thing. It's not everybody being on the same page.
And by the time Taylor gets there for the kickout block, there's a lot of traffic there.
See, right here, just pause it. On this screen, you're going to want Chester. That's the guy he's got to cover right there. He's got to get up. He's got to be faster out of the snap. Frazier gets. I mean, this play is ran perfectly into it. You're going to get a blitz right here. You're going to get the tackle slanting. All they got to do is wash these down with the kick out.
If you're going to get Chester to the next level, then Dellinger's got to make his reach block here on this inside technique.
It's a help block. Chester's supposed to put a hand on him and get up. Frazier's going to wash it down. You're going to get the linebacker blitz. It looks like it's set up, but the D tackle he blows up Frazier on the play.
And it goes for no gain.
It's frustrating when you get to watch these plays because it's so close that, we've been talking about the run game a lot. And when you get to see this, I see what Kelly's saying. It's just they haven't had that play where all 11 just hit on all cylinders.
All right, this play we're going to move forward. This is another run by Ole Miss that converts for a first down. This time it's a 3rd down and 6. Well, the ball is down on the 9-yard line. This is one of the plays that happened after the deflected interception that set them up on the 13-yard line. So after the first 2 plays, this is the 3rd down and 6 from the 9. All right, let me freeze it right here. What are we looking at?
I mean, it's your basic 4-3. You're going to have everybody play straight up. And this is where I get confused. You'll see it on the backside. Everybody plays straight man. Parrish slants. I don't know if it's a miscall, miscommunication. He slants, which opens up the gap, and it's just one player off, causing the hole to be big.
I said it was a big run. It was what allowed them to go for it on a 4th down and 1, which we're going to show you here in a second. All right, so.
In these plays, the tight view is always the best one to see it. But it's just close. Watch 0 right here. I don't see anybody else slanting, and for some reason, I don't know if he's gambling, he's trying to beat the guy in, thinking it's a backside play, because what we talk about, when the back's offside, usually it's coming back the other way. And we do a good job stopping up front right here, but because he slants, you get a big open seam over here. I mean, once he slants and that gap's that big, Gilbert did a good job filling the hole.
They stopped at the 4, which was 1
Pause
yard.
Right here.
Oops, sorry.
See, I'm trying to figure out what he was doing on this. It's a miscommunication of some sort.
I'm gonna let you watch it again. Say when.
Right here. See, I don't know why he's slanting. When Parrish slants, they knock each other off with 99, and they open up the gap for him, because now you got weeks to fill in that whole big gap right there, and it's just too much space.
Slanting's okay, but you can't slant in opposite directions.
You can't slant when nobody else is slanting. You're going to cause a seam.
The lead block in there on Weeks, and they do stop it for 1 yard short. Okay, this is another one of the key plays in the first quarter. The Ole Miss has already missed an opportunity with the deep ball to Harris. They missed a 32-yard field goal. This one, 4th down and 1 from the 4. Lane Kiffin analytics. You don't even have to.
I'm ripping my hair out at this point, because this is where I'm getting really nervous.
Lane Kiffin follows analytics, but you don't need to be Lane Kiffin to. Everybody's going for it here.
Yeah.
4th down and 1. There's still no score in the game. Ole Miss should be up at this point.
This is one of the best defensive plays of our year so far.
All right, here it is.
Gio Paez does a hell of a job. He blows up the center. If you watch him, he just submarines it, knocks the center back. They can't go anywhere. Whit Weeks fills a gap, blows up the right side. Gio Paez and Whitweeks blow up this play, and then you got Swinson trying to get cut off by a wide receiver.
Okay, and I want to talk about what happened on this interior, because you're watching the TV cut, and it just looks like what the broadcast team says is the backside tackle does not get his cutoff block. Swinson comes clean, and he makes the stop. But there's more going on here.
It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's when you look at Gio Paez, he just dives at the center's legs, and this is what you do on a short yardage situation. He's trying to clog the middle. Weeks blows up that guard. I mean, you talk about this is what your linebacker's supposed to do. He blows him up. There's nowhere to run up that A gap, and then you got a wide receiver trying to cut off the best, rusher.
Yeah. I said the backside tackle. I don't know if he was supposed to chip him or not. If they actually expected.
Remember early on in the year when we were bringing our wide receivers in and we complained about why do you have a wide receiver trying to cut off a DN? This is why you don't do it. But running back, just real quick, I want you to watch Whitweeks on this, because Gio does a great job. But watch Whit deliver the blow on the guard that completely shuts off any possibility of running the A gap.
He's given up, I'm going to say, somewhere in the area of 75 pounds to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's free. It's just an awesome play. And Savion does a great job. I mean, to me, that's
all right. Wait, let's run it back here again on where Jones is, because he makes a nice play too. And this looks like it's all Swinson, but
Savion crashes. They cut off right here. You got Gio Paez slamming the A gap. Center can't go anywhere. Whitweeks blows up the guard. I mean, this thing is just shut down. It's perfectly ran by this defense.
And a huge, huge swing. You get the ball on the 13-yard line, you're supposed to come away with a touchdown. Forget about points. You're supposed to be you're supposed to come away with a touchdown, and they don't.
I mean, think of where we are in this game. You got the drop by the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the SEC, not expected. You get the interception, missed field goal. Get down on the 4th and 1 on the 4, and we blow this up. I mean, this is where you're thinking, LSU or Ole Miss thinking they should be up 18, 21 points.
They should have been, because these are all plays that are makeable. They're not like, oh, well, if this guy would have made a great play. Harris is going to catch that ball almost all the time.
Yeah.
The kid that makes the 57-yard field goal to send the game to, or any overtime, that's a pressure kick if there's ever a pressure kick. He makes that when he missed a 32-yarder in the first quarter. And then this play.
This is a great play. The other plays we had good fortune.
Yeah. We're brought to you by Bayou Apparel, helping local businesses communicate their message since 2009 as one of only a few local LSU official licensees. Bayou Apparel offers the highest quality products to showcase your brand, whether you've got an established one or a new one. Bayou Apparel design experts help you create eye-catching designs that fit your company's message. They do logos, event T-shirts, and promotional items for your business. So call 225-928-9090 or go to the website at bayouapparel.com. All right, here's another good play for LSU. This time the Tigers with the ball. This is Nussmeier going to Lacey down the field, and this results in a nice game.
Nussmeier's anticipation. I mean, he throws guys open. He throws the ball before receivers looking. He gets a great pocket right here. I think we kind of get away with a hold. Miscommunication between Frazier and Emery right there on the help. But where he throws this ball and how he throws it over the linebacker, it's beautifully done. I mean, and Lacey does a great job when you see the wide view in the back.
This gets LSU out of jail here.
I don't know if that's where the confusion was. You had the guy walk up. He signals out that he's going to fan, but they got to help right there. There was a little bit miscommunication that could have caused an issue. All right,
let me set it up here.
So watch. They're going to run cover 3. This guy's dropping in the middle. The far cornerback, he's dropping. There's going to be 3 high. Lacey puts a great move to stem the cornerback wide. He pushes him a little bit wide and cuts that seam where he can dump it over the linebacker's head. Watch Lacey with the stem. It's a great route, great throw. I think there was a little bit of miscommunication on Ole Miss. You got 2 droppers into the same area, but he puts it right over the guy's head, and that's a lot harder throw than it looks.
Well, it looked pretty hard. Let's watch the they do get away with a little bit.
Look where the ball is. Yeah. It's already out of his hand, and Lacey doesn't even have his eyes around yet. I mean, just the anticipation he has and the trust he has in these guys to be where he's throwing is unreal.
There was another throw that looked somewhat like this later in the game. That
touchdown,
would be, yeah. All right, let's see if they did get.
It's close on a hold right there.
All right, let's watch Frazier and Jones. Yeah. I've seen
I've
less
that.
called.
Yeah. But the one where it's confusing to me on that is I see the guy walk up, Emory kind of whispers to him that I'm going to fan out right here. But when he backs up, they got to be on the same page because he's just helping, and Frazier never gets back out.
That play got LSU out of jail, though. They were down just inside their own 5-yard line, and the big play they carried out past the almost out to the 30. All right. Next play, Braden Swinson, who is having a phenomenal year, an all-conference type year, and had a big night here. This is a sack. This is Ole Miss with the football on the 17-yard line, first down and 10.
And this is a second effort play. I mean, this sack goes to the DBs. It goes to it's a coverage sack. We do a great job of running Tampa 2. You're going to get Penn flying out to the middle. You got too high. He's running deep with him. Nobody's open. Everybody's covered. Swinson comes on second effort, makes a great play.
Let's watch it from the end zone this time. Pretty much basic up at the top.
Basic Tampa 2.
This is also one of the LSU shortened their rotations in the secondary. The first 5 that played, which was Alexander and Stamps at the corners, and then Ryan and Gilbert at the safeties, and Burns at the star, played all but about 3 or 4 plays apiece. This is one of the plays where Deshaun Spears is in. You see back here playing a little center field.
Yeah. So watch Swinson's effort. He doesn't get there on the first try. Dart's got nowhere to go. And just keep fighting. I mean, that's an effort play. That's a coverage sack. But, I mean, a guy that doesn't quit makes a great play.
All right, let's take a look at the coverage here.
You're going to run too high. You're going to have Penn carry the guy in the middle. Spears gets back. Ryan gets back. They play the flats. I mean, everything's covered. When you watch this run, it's one of our best. One of the things. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's doing their job, and you get the coverage sack.
All right, here's where he's got to make a move, and
the ball's got to go. If he gets out on time,
there is nowhere to go with the ball. It doesn't look like.
Anytime you say you see his back, throw the ball. I mean, he could have made the play over there, but it was still pretty well covered.
Swinson gets the sack and backs Ole Miss up. All right. We're all the way to the point where it's only 3-0. We're in the second quarter. And, again, LSU trying to get something in the run game going a little bit here. This is another attempt, and it just doesn't go very far. Second down and 10 on the 39-yard line. This tell me about this is pistol. You got a bunch formation on the near side.
It's an outside zone play. You're gonna have Pimpton run a backside cutoff. This is a play that almost hits. I mean, it's another one that's really close. You're gonna get with Jones and Taylor. I'm not sure where one of them gets confused, but you got the outside gap. Emory's got to make a smarter play. You get Jones and Emory got these two right here. They're gonna reach out. This guy takes himself out of the play, and Jones chases. Jones really needs to go up. Chester gets up, and it's a big play.
Except it's not. This one almost looked like it had no chance from the very beginning. Let's take a look. All right, you got a lot of traffic over there.
Yeah, so you're going to get Pimpton run the backside cutoff. Everybody's reaching. Everybody's doing a reach block. They're going to blitz into it. So you're going to see the tackle slant, linebacker come up. It should be what you got the look you're looking for, but you have two guys that just don't really, get to their assignment.
All right.
So right there, you take it back just a half second. Pause right here. This is what you got this good look. See, Chester already missed his guy right here, but you can still got room. This guy's slanting. Frazier has to win that one-on-one. And when I say that Taylor and Emory were reaching, they're for these two. Well, this guy's already taken himself out of the play. Emory's got to be smarter and realize that, hey, I'm not chasing just to chase. Work up, block the guy, and you could possibly have a home run. But because he crosses his face right here, it stops the play.
And this is the guy. This is the guy. He was lined up on Chester's nose.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, wait, hang on now.
Yeah, let it run through. No, Chester just does it. He takes a bad step, so run it back real quick. Chester has to reach this guy. They're slanting over. when the guy slants, you got to play on that outside shoulder. He takes a bad step, he gets inside, so he messes up. Frazier gets beat. It's one of those run plays that were so close. I mean, another half step, you get a hat on the right side that you bust for a big play.
All right, so LSU gets that play up on the interior. We are brought to you by Dana Brown, the law offices of O.C. Brown. Known Dana personally for a long time. Your first consultation is always free for all of your legal needs. Family-owned law firm. Dana's carried on his father O.C.'s legacy for over 30 years. So if you've been in a car accident or you've got other legal needs, the law offices of O.C. Brown, your first and only call, your law firm for a lifetime. Call them at 225-343-1111 or on the web, it's ocbrown.com. And if you're heading down to see Dana and the guys, stop on by Town Square Pizza on your way just a couple of blocks away. Get a hot, delicious pizza downtown. Get it in a hurry, made from scratch. The Square Pizza downtown Baton Rouge. This play got a lot of attention. This was a 4th and 2. LSU's at the 38-yard line. They called timeout before this play to get it set up. This is I'm just going to let it run.
You requested one play.
I requested one play. This is the one I wanted to. This is the one I wanted to see.
This play is another that's almost there, but Nussmeier's got to pull the ball here. So everybody's going. You're reading that guy. Look, it probably doesn't go anywhere because once again we get beat with the center and the guard. But if he pulls the ball, you'll see it from the back view. So you're reading the end. He's blocking here. You got a combo block to get up here. Then you have Dellinger coming around the outside. But because Emery gets beat right here and gets thrown, it kind of throws off the whole play. Even though, I mean, when you see it from the tight view, the gap is opening, but Nussmeier's, that's when he's got to pull. I mean, that's the read. He's on the DN.
I've been waiting to see the end zone view of this.
And it's frustrating because you're going to see right here, they're going to read this guy. These two, it's a bad step, bad technique, bad decision. You got two guys to combo block. Run it back real quick. So these two, pause it. These two are working here to here. I mean, if it's a tight end tackle, that's a deuce. This would be a text. But they make bad. I don't understand what they're doing right here because it's almost like he's trying to work inside to get there, but he's too close. They got to work this one to where Frazier stays man up, Emery chips, gets to the top, and this could be a really big play. But he steps inside, Emery steps inside, the guy kind of squishes him, and then Nuss doesn't pull the ball. So I'm going to tell you to pause it in just a second. Pause. Pull it. That's the pull right there. And look, you already missed your block. Emery and Frazier, they missed. Even with the miss, you got Dellinger that can help out. You need 2 yards right here. I mean, this is when he's got to pull the ball.
This gets demolished.
And what's frustrating is I didn't like the play call when I watched it. When I go back and get to see this view, the play's there. I don't know what Frazier and Emery are doing. It's a bad decision, bad call. They combo it kind of reverse. They should have been out inside out instead of outside in. And Nuss got to pull the ball.
Let me go fanboy here for a second. This is game 6. I don't know how many times they've run the zone read, but I know how many times Nussmeier's kept it. 0. So at this point, there's some things where you just go, hey, you know what? We can't do that.
Yeah.
I would have been. They would have been better off just handing the ball to Jaxson and running a straight play, or throwing the ball, or anything but that. Because the things that are supposed to have options here, you don't have options.
No,
the play is not designed to run. Look, if your quarterback can't run or is unwilling to run, he doesn't run. We didn't run this with Jamarcus.
No.
You ran it with Flynn, okay? You didn't run this with Mettenberger. You didn't really run this. Well, you ran a little bit with Joe Burrow. But
if you're not going
to do it, you just stop.
Well, because there's no reason to have the option. I mean, that end's going to fly to the running back every single time because he's never seen him keep it.
And can we look back to see what? Okay, let's just watch the guy that's set up on.
This is the read guy, though.
Yeah, okay.
Right off him.
He might have taken a half step.
He slid and went straight into the running back.
Yeah.
But this is what,
as soon as he reads it, he knows where the ball's going. He's going outside.
Run it back real quick. This is where I'm frustrated because even though all this happens, it's not a bad play design because you see where he's head up right here?
Yeah.
If you're combo blocking to here, wouldn't you think that he's going to take him head up, Emory's going to chip and get to the next level? Wouldn't that be the most advantageous? But for some reason, they reversed it to where Emory's trying to take him head on, and he's trying to slide and get out. I mean, it's a bad decision by on the combo block.
Okay, that's your frustration. My frustration's out here. Let me stop it where, all right, this is the guy that's supposed to be optioning off of right here, okay? He, as you can see, Nussmeier's in the Jackson's belly, okay? This guy's already planted his foot to go outside.
Yeah.
He knows that Nussmeier is not going to keep the ball, okay? So now tell me that the way this is supposed to run is that quarterback keeps the ball there, he busts it, okay?
Yeah.
But that guy that he's supposed to be reading off of is responsible for him. And 25, or is it 25 or 22, is flying up. He's got the back if Taylor makes his block. Am I?
Yeah.
Correct me, please, because you're better at this than I am.
Nussmeier should have pulled the ball and bumped his head on the freaking goalpost. But if you're not going to pull the ball, you're going to get guys flying down like this.
Okay. It was my one play. I'm just setting you up for film at this point because that was the one that
the combo blocks what frustrates me because the play's there. And I mean, I say it's there. He didn't pull the ball, but
I mean, neither one of the guys made the combo block, and then the quarterback doesn't keep the ball, so that one's just got it's got no chance there. Okay, this is another play that we had an opportunity to make a stop. This is 4th and 1 right around midfield. This is almost midway through the second quarter, and Ole Miss not only gets the first down, they
it's a 50-yard touchdown.
They get the touchdown here. So let's take a look.
And this is one of the plays where I think Weeks gambles a little bit. He tries to bust in on the backside gap, and it's another one of those plays where you saw earlier on the 4th and short. We blow up the play side. I mean, we do a great job front side, and it's almost too good of a job to where everybody bites on it. He runs into his back and has a backside cutoff. So let it go just a little bit. Weeks, I think Gamble's trying to get in there because you got Weeks and Swinson playing the cutoff. You got two guys in one gap right there.
Let me back it up here. And it's 4th and 1, so I understand the gamble because if you
got to gamble to make a stop.
If you're going to make a stop for less than a yard.
But pause right here. So look.
Hang on. Well, all right, I went back too far.
There you go.
All right, that's from the front side. Okay.
So everybody blows this up on the front side, and this is kind of like a little counter. He's going to come back in this way, but when Weeks flies around trying to gamble, get around the outside, he puts Sage in a tough position because he's got to play both gaps at this point. Sage picks the wrong gap because the flow of the play. So pause right. Let it go one more second right here. They've already shut this off. He's coming back this way. It's well protected. You got Burns in his gap. Sage is kind of two gap, and he's got to play both sides. But because it's so well shut off and Weeks gambled on that outside, it opens up a big seam for a backside. Right here. And then he just slips out the back. You get a missed tackle, should have been stopped. But it's one of those just bad fortune. You blow up the play front side, Weeks gambles on the backside, and it opens up a seam.
Now that I'm looking at this wide angle, I didn't notice this the first time. They put 3 wide receivers all the way out past well past the numbers.
And if you watch Weeks, he's really supposed to play in this lane, but he's trying to make that sweeping play to stop him for a short yardage, and then Sage has to guess. I mean, I'd like to say that this side's blown up on this. Why putting an extra hat in there? If I'm Sage, I'm playing the leak out on the backside, but he goes front side. Right here, when he tries to stick his head in there, that's done. He's got to play the safe side right here because you got 3 guys. Burns is in his gap. This again, you got 2 guys playing the gap. It gets slammed off on the front side, and he leaks out the back.
Oh, hang on. Now, let me play devil's advocate here. There is a gap there between where Burns and Jones are.
Burns is a little too tight. Burns got to be about right here, and he's got this area. Sage, it's more.
I mean, I'm seeing what Sage sees here. He sees this gap. If he bounces that way, but
I'm just trying to take the blame off Weeks.
Okay.
Weeks got to be in his gap right there. He gambles on a 4th and 1, and it busts for a big play.
All right. Well,
that's Weeks' gap right there where he busts out the back seam.
And the long touchdown on 4th down and 1. And we have the prerequisite chest beating. We're brought to you by Dependable Storage. 8 locations across Louisiana, 1 in Gulfport, Mississippi, new facilities in Slidell and Youngsville. Matching any competitor's pricing, convenient online rentals and payment, free use of the moving truck for new rental move-ins, clean, secure, and conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for location, pricing, and rentals. Like Skip always says, Dependable Storage, they want your stuff. We're going to finish up here with a play that goes for the second touchdown of the season for Trey'Dez Green, who became a wide receiver on Monday.
So
if he wasn't before.
All of his touchdowns I want to count as wide receiver at this point because he's got 0 touchdowns going towards the tight end.
You already count. The guy's a freshman halfway through his freshman year.
This guy, and you're going to see why he's going to play wide receiver. He's such a freak. I mean, when you're 6'7", you got this length. He doesn't really run a good route. He doesn't stem the guy, but he's so freakishly athletic. The safety's going to bite on the play action. He's going to fly down. That guy can't cover him. His helmet comes up to his armpits. You're going to see a good view right, I guess, on the next view.
All right.
So safety flies down on the play action. He's got to beat his guy one-on-one. I mean, great design. They really bid on it. But for a guy that doesn't really run a route, he just kind of leaks in there. His body's so big, his frame's so big, it doesn't matter. So watch it. He's just going to run an inside slant. Once he flies down for the play action. He doesn't really press him, doesn't really push him, doesn't really bend. He just kind of falls in there, but he's so dang long, it doesn't matter.
And there you have it. He's going to be a tough cover.
He's going to be a wide receiver the rest of the year.
Wide receiver the rest of
0 touchdowns as a tight end.
Well, they're looking for the wide receiver room is a little bit compromised.
3 of our
right
top
now.
4 are out.
You had C.J. Daniels out of this game. Chris Hilton has been out. Now Trey Parker is out. Is going to miss the rest of the season. Kelly intimated that they would get one of the other guys, not Parker, but they would get one out of Hilton or Parker or Daniels back, and then you're going to add Green to that mix. I'm guessing this means less 12 personnel too. You don't have a ton of tight ends. If he's not a tight end either, I guess you could use him at both.
You saw a lot in this game. They ran a lot of 13, 12. I mean, we were getting Pimpton out there, and we were getting Green out there. What kind of stinks about this is because they don't have confidence in the receivers behind them. So it seems like we've missed on a few guys. That we got some freshmen, some sophomores that aren't really getting in there. They haven't showed enough that they're going to move Green back down to wide receiver just to fill in that space.
All right. LSU had a lot of advantages as far as the spot in this game. Ole Miss was playing 7 in a row. LSU was coming off of a bye. The game was in Baton Rouge. It was at night. This week, LSU is coming off of an overtime game. Arkansas had the week off. The game is at night, and LSU is on the road.
The field rush fade?
Well, but Arkansas had a week in between their field rush fade is my problem. So, and LSU is a small favorite in this game, but the circumstances, all of the spot that I call it, that all favored LSU this week.
Yeah.
This coming week, it favors Arkansas. So the task is doubly difficult.
This is one of those. I mean, look, we played one of our best defensive games, but just by watching the 12 plays or 11 plays we just showed you, we got lucky on a few of them. And that's something that you can't rely on. You can't always try to fight and claw your way back. I mean, you had a caller call in a few shows back talking about the amount of times we were in a double-digit deficit. This was another game where we were down 10-0 and we came back to win. Look, we're getting there. We're getting better. The defense is coming. We just got to start eliminating these big plays. I mean, we're not going to get that fortunate in every game.
LSU was down 10-0, and it could have been a lot more.
Yeah.
Rest assured, though, not the only team in the conference with problems. Alabama beat South Carolina by 2. Tennessee struggles with Florida. That game goes to overtime. Texas ended up cruising. So Georgia lets Mississippi State hang around way, way too longer than what they've been looking ahead to Texas. Somebody asked me today if Texas is a lock for the SEC championship game, and they're not, but let's for a moment just say they're the last undefeated team overall in the conference. If they're in the SEC championship game, who's the favorite to be the other team in the SEC championship game at the halfway point? And I'll tell you what I came up with. I came up with Texas A&M because LSU plays. LSU and A&M are the other two undefeated teams in league play, and LSU goes there. Now, if LSU wins that game and the Arkansas game, then there's going to be a lot of light on the Tigers because they will be able to own their own ticket at that point.
That's our toughest spot on the schedule. I mean, that's back-to-back SEC road games. It's going to be a tough one.
All right. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll try to be back on our Monday schedule next week. For Richard Dickson, I'm Charles Hanagriff, and for Tuesday, October 15th, it's been the Handycast.